he's just doing a lot of sitting on his bike, and it's not about riding a bike all the time. You have to do some swimming, you have to do some exercises to flex those muscles. There's certain muscles on the bike that doesn't actually get exercise by just sitting on it. So you must loosen all those muscles by swimming and doing certain exercises, make your abdomen strong so you can be a good athlete.
Yeah, can also share like just brief about some of from your sporting achievements and some competitions you might have.
No, I was just only a Western Province. That's as far as we could have gone. I haven't gone to Secos and stuff like that. But he actually got the biggest opportunity that any athlete would want to be. Any athlete would want to be in his shoes, because those colors don't come easy. You have to work very, very hard to get those colors.
Alright, it's fantastic stuff. And what do you have to say about that, Mr. Rob, in terms of the hard work and the journey, as your father mentioned?
Yes, it definitely is a lot of hard work and sacrifice. Obviously, youngsters of today, you want to go out and be with your friends, go to the movies, but sometimes you're not able to do that because, training demands sacrifice as well as the schoolwork. So it's really a tight schedule that I'm on, and I just try to balance it. But I definitely don't have a normal teenage life because it's just training and schoolwork and sleep. That's all I do. Yeah.
Can you just share this cycling journey of yours from to someone like me who knows nothing about your journey of where it started and how is it
obviously I started in primary school. I did the same as my dad. I did athletics and I was a sprinter there. I excelled at athletics, and then the cycling coach came to me and he said, why don't you give cycling a try, because you really are a good runner, so let's see what you can do on a bike. And I agreed, and when I started cycling, it was just some other type of love. I had an immediate passion for it, and I saw also I'd done a couple of races, and so I found out I'm actually really good at this, and so I just stuck to cycling. Because other sports, I did soccer, played rugby, cricket, athletics, but nothing got me like cycling, as like I had no passion for the other sports like I have for cycling.
And how old were you when you first started?
I was 13 years old when I started, yes.
And so far, how has the journey been?
Very tough, lots of training, hours, sacrifice. Took me about now cycling 5-6 years to get these colors, but I can say it's something that I'm proud of, and it's really worth the sacrifice right now. Been through tough competitions like SA Track Championships. I represented South Africa before in January at the African Continental Track Champs. I won a silver medal there. I'm a South African track champion, multiple podiums at championships, Western Cape Track champion. Those are all my achievements.
It's fantastic. And which divisions are they in?
Under 19.
All right.
And before I was a South African champion in under 16. Under 16.
All right. Just leading to Mrs. Jordan, how was his first reaction when he received his first bike?
Oh, yes, he was very happy about that. The gentleman that actually approached him to ask him, he's such a good runner, had told him, do you want to come into the sport? And like you said, he also had a bike for him. So that was his first bike, and from there it just grew. My brother's also a very keen cycler, so that's where he got his motivation from. And from there onwards, my brother just took him under his wing and, bought the bike, so to speak, and bought him the bike and all this equipment. And from there onwards, I'm the lady actually in the background, because I make sure my husband goes with him and drives behind him, because with today, I'm very worried, and with on the roads. Yeah. So in the morning he goes when it's still dark to do his training. So that is where he comes in, and then he obviously rides behind him, makes sure that he catches up with the bunch or that he meets a certain few people that he can ride with, and then he comes back. And he also calls his dad to come and fetch him. I'm the one in the background that makes sure, have you got your water? Have you got your, have you got your pepper spray? Or reminds him and pays for the next entry. Remember, there's a race coming up. I'm the lady behind the scenes, making sure that he have all his supplements, that he does everything, that he eats, that he gets his gear. If there's something he needs, if there's something wrong with the bike, I'm the one that, call up the places or take him to and from to sort that out. I hardly ever, I must say, I hear sometimes fantastic stories from the venue, because then they all want to say, where's the mother? The child is podiuming, and the people is excited. But I hardly ever support him in that. And but it's all going to change now. Yes, because since now, all in the last couple of months, I've also gone very excited about the game. But like I said, then I say no, I'm in the background just to make sure that everything is right, everything runs smoothly. His bike is serviced, because his bike is being serviced like a car. Believe it or not, make it race ready. Race ready. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I tell you, this sport is not, it doesn't come cheap. It's very expensive. Even the bike is very expensive. That's why I get his dad to go behind him, because it's not something, if he loses his bike, then he can't, it's like a handyman or somebody without your equipment, you can't work. Yeah, so that is why, yes, I make sure about all of that things. And now with the traveling that is going, and sadly I must say, and that is why we've been having fundraising. Now I have a team of 3 or 4 other ladies that's also assisting me, and we go out to the businesses, or we try to get out sponsor letters for him, because although he has been to represent South Africa, sadly it's for his own cost, for our own costs.
So there's no assistance, no funding.
No funding.
You have to. How much do you have to raise for?
We have to raise 37,300. We were 37,000, and actually 37, it says 37 and a half. We've raised, we were on 15 shortfall still in the week. We had a boerewors, selling boerewors and stuff. We had an event here on Friday night. That also went in, so we're looking at around about, we're going to 11, about 11 or so, that we still have a shortfall for, yes.
Right.
And this week, Saturday, we have a breakfast.
Okay.
It's a breakfast, a brunch fundraiser. It's at, I don't know if you know the area, but it's on the Strandfontein Road, on the corner of 11th Avenue and Strandfontein Road. There is a mosque there. It's in the hall of the mosque. And we're running a breakfast there, and it's 150 Rand a ticket. And I've sold a few tickets, but we were planning to go for 250, in the hope that is the the differences that we can make, and that is still shortfall. But so far I've just gone over 150 that I've been selling. So I'm just going to see this week if I don't get to my target, then we're probably going to have to cut it off and then cater for less people and make it 200. But I'm hoping, with the events and and he's been on the Muslim radios, Voice of the Cape and Radio 786, and you are here now. So with that, we were hoping that he'll get the exposure here, and that people will support us on Saturday.
Okay. So
Yes.
are there any details like that you have in place regarding the fundraising? Say, for example, maybe there's a bank account where people can.
Yes, I do have a bank account. Yes. I have it on
Back buddy.
Yes, we have a back
Mirsab campaign.
Yes, Mirsab's campaign on Facebook, Backabuddy. Oh, sorry.
I'm still interested in him and this cycling.
Yeah.
Because you said it took you about 5 years to get SA colors. Which year did you get them?
This year, January.
Okay. What did you have? To which races did you have to win or participate into?
Basically, just South African track championships. That's what the main race that you have to win and do well at them. Obviously, from there you get selected.
Okay. And now that you've had these colors, you've represented South Africa in how many races?
Only in January, about 4 events I represented South Africa in at the African Track Championships.
Now we're talking about raising funds and stuff. I'm still not sure what we're raising funds, actually raising funds for. Which race are you going to now that?
We're going to the Junior Track World Championships in Germany, so that's now self-funded and we have to come up with our own money to get there to Germany.
When is that?
The 9th, we're leaving the 9th of August, but the racing that side starts on the 14th until the 18th of August.
Okay. To qualify for that race, how did that happen? In order to be selected for those.
Like I said before,
because very much you're speaking to someone who doesn't know much about cycling.
Obviously, the main one was the South African Track Championships, and the one in January where we represented South Africa already. So then they would just they would monitor your results there when you represented the country, and then they would see now, okay, we can take him again to represent the country, and that's how it works.
All right, fantastic. And when is the final date for the fundraising?
Well, the our last event, because we had one Friday night, we're having one on Thursday night at the track, because there's a protest.
There's a protest at the Bellville Velodrome.
But you're also going to practice and all that, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a practice, so a lot of cyclists will be there. So we're having something there on Thursday night, and then the brunch or breakfast is the last event that we've planned. Yes.
All right, fantastic.
Which is the
20s. What are your hopes once you go there in Germany?
What are you doing there?
Obviously, my hopes is to go there and win and be a junior world champion. That is the goal, but even a top 3 would do for me.
Sure.
So that's the main goal that I'm going there. Whatever happens, but that is the main goal.
And looking in your cycling journey ahead, what would you like to achieve going forward?
Obviously, I would like to go represent South Africa at the Olympics. I would like to become a pro rider, ride the World Tour, which is Tour de France and the Giro d'Italia and races like that. So my main goal for the future is just to become a pro cyclist.
Any people that maybe in your sport that you look up to, someone that inspires you to keep going?
Obviously, it's the Nolan Hoffman and Clint Hendricks and guys like that that already went to Olympics. They represented South Africa at Commonwealth Games. They went to World Championships, and Nolan actually came second at the World Championships. So people say South Africa can come nowhere in the world when they race against other countries, but looking at him, I think I have a possible chance to do it.
And what do you think? Like you're gonna have local kids now who will know about your journey, going to Germany. What do you think? Maybe the message the kind of message it sends to other.
I think the younger riders also inspire me, because a few of them actually look up to me, and that motivates me to do better, because some of them told me, Mirsab, when I grow up I want to be like you, and then I was like, yo, you're going to be like me. I mean, I'm not the best, I'm not the best because there's always someone better than you, but for them to say that, it really motivates me and makes me want to do better. And I've been in some situations where I'm friends with the younger riders, and they also have friends, and then they'll be talking to me, and then their friends will be like, oh, Mirsab, how is it that you're talking to him, and stuff like that. But to me, I don't see it that way. I'm just me. I'm a normal rider, but it's nice to know that you're a role model to others.
definitely.
But I mean, like, from the beginning of your journey, you know, in the cycling, up to now, you know, where you are now,
Yeah.
I'm sure there has been obstacles, you know, somewhere, you know, here and there. So how did you manage to overcome those, like?
Obstacles, I wouldn't really say there was any obstacles, because we just took it one step at a time, you know, baby steps.
Yeah.
Not that I know of that. Maybe there was obstacles for other people, but there was nothing really for me. Just the hard work that I had to put in, sacrificing my time with friends. I think that's the main obstacle for most riders, you know, because everyone you say you must live your life when you're young and stuff like that. So that can be a distraction to some people, like leave training, I'm gonna go out today. I think that's the biggest obstacle that we younger riders and athletes face, because we see other people, then we're like, yo, I can't do that, or I also want to do that. So that's the main obstacle.